I need you all to call in with the companies, the Black-owned companies that you think we should support, the Black-owned institutions that need our support, because our goal for February is to, every single time we are called upon to spend money, to change our way of thinking so that the first thing we think about is which Black-owned business can I spend this money with first. Right, that's the first thing. Now, there are other talks about boycotts, and we're going to talk about that on Thursday as well. Tabitha Brown, for those of you who are fans or just aware of her presence, it's been dynamic in this space, and she is someone who has her products being sold at Target, as do many other brands that I frequent and love, and which are Black owned. And she put out a very significant video, a lengthy video, of which I've only seen a couple of minutes. People keep clipping it and sharing like the 2-minute version. It's like a 10-minute video where she talks about some of the implications of a boycott at Target. Apparently, now that Target has decided they no longer want to have spaces where Target has decided to be pro-segregation. I'm not even saying that they are anti-DEI or anti-affirmative action. No, you're pro-segregation, because we are all now clear, Target and other businesses, that DEI and affirmative action were simply methods that white people, your clan, your people, put into place, even though, affirmative action, the plan was created by what it would look like created by a Black person. But the idea of having affirmative action was something that Lyndon B. Johnson called for because of a recognition that white Americans had, up until that point in the mid-1960s, been willful participants, or perhaps unwillful, but certainly not vocal opponents to a system that essentially said only white people could apply. They didn't care about merit. They didn't care about qualifications. You just had to be white. That was it. And if you were white, then there might be some other conversation. But if you weren't white, regardless of your merit, regardless of your qualifications, you were not going to be considered. So the only reason we had to have D, E, and the I, the only reason we had to have affirmative action was because of white people who decided to block everybody else from participation regardless of their qualifications. Nobody cared about merit. You only cared about the whiteness. And so now that companies like Target have decided to, we're going to roll back on our D, E, and the I. Well, you know what, Target? I'm going to have to roll back on my support of you. Because this means you're pro-segregation. You're not anti-DEI. You're not anti-affirmative action. You're pro-segregation. You're pro-white only. You Target, got a whole lot of nerve, because you got a whole lot of years of supporting diverse vendors and supporting diverse entities and companies. So you should know better. Of anybody who should know better, you should know better, because you done put your mouth out there. You done said some things out there. You done come out with your full chest and said you support these things. So now you're pro-segregation? Though that means I'm pro not shopping at your store. Now, it is unfortunate that there are Black vendors and business owners who are tied up in contracts with Target, because Target has decided they are pro-segregation, which means they're anti-you and your people. I don't know how them contracts going to work out. But Tabitha Brown put out a video that I think gives us a lot of food for conversation. And to be clear, because some of y'all have gone too far, we ain't canceling nobody. Like, ain't nobody got time to be canceling somebody. We ain't got enough people. Like what you canceling somebody for? This is growth. This is opportunity for growth and expansion. We're not doing the very immature thing that many folks have decided should be a part of our cultural norms. Like, we're not ghosting people. We're not canceling. That's very immature. That's childish. I'm canceling you. That's childish. We are in a phase of growth and expansion and trying to figure things out. We are in a revival of segregation and anti-Blackness, the likes of which most of us alive right now have never lived through before. So we're not canceling anybody, but we do have to have discussion. And it may be that if you have made financial decisions to tie yourself to a company that was so pro-segregation at the substance, that they're pro-pride, pro-Juneteenth, pro-Black History Month efforts at the surface could be so easily undone, then that is unfortunate for you, because we're going to have to figure out other ways to support you. I will not be spending a dime. I'm not going to Target, because y'all know better. Not especially, and y'all, we got a Costco membership this weekend, okay? The favors are good. We got a Costco membership. We got a Costco membership this weekend, because Costco is a company that has said, we have considered this request from some of our shareholders to consider rolling back on our diversity, equity, and inclusion plans. And we've decided it's not in our fiscal best interest. It's not in the best interest of our corporate culture. And you know what? You could say that, Target, because when y'all were all white, before you started doing all this stuff, you didn't have to put out a statement that you're no longer going to be all white. You didn't have to put out a statement that you're no longer going to be pro-segregation. You just took steps to incorporate other people. Now you put all over the place, we're doing Black History Month this month. We're doing Pride Month this month. So you named some things. You named some things. And now you made some decisions to embrace segregation. And so it is unfortunate that Tabitha Brown's products are being sold at a place that I can't go to now. And I don't know how long the boycott's going to last. I don't even know how successful of a boycott it is being organized. We're going to talk about that on Thursday as well. What does it mean to organize a boycott? Right? Because when people talk about Montgomery bus boycott, you forget that Black people made up a significant portion of the population that was on them buses. So the impact economically could be measured, could be predicted, and could be evaluated. Right. And so if you don't have those metrics in place, then there's some other things we have to think about as well. So we're going to get to that. That's Thursday. But we're going to talk about FUBU February. I had to say all that because on February, we have decided as a group here in the Lurie Daniel Favors Show, and I don't know what other shows on the channel are going to do it, if any other, I don't know, but I know what we're doing. I asked y'all if y'all wanted to do it. Y'all said yeah, and so we doing it. FUBU February. Before we spend a dime, our first inclination will be to retrain ourselves to think about spending that dime with the Black-owned institution. Before I get this coffee at this corner store that I know is going to be here, and I know it's going to be another one of these stores in 2 blocks because this store, which I like, and I have the app too, like, and it's everywhere. And I might have to walk 3 blocks out the way to go to the Black-owned coffee shop. But I'm going to do that for FUBU February. Because it's a part of training our mind and retraining how we think about where our dollars go. Because right now, corporations have made some decisions. And some of them have decided, we're going to be pro-segregation. That's it. We're going to be, and others have decided, yeah, no, we're going to stand on business because we understand that diversity is a business value add, number one, because their primary concern is shareholders, not us. But number two, it's the right thing to do.